coming tonight. By the turnout, it is obvious that you guys are as excited about camp as we are here at the JCC. So thank you for coming. We're going to do a few things tonight. We're going to stay in this room for kind of a general JCAMS kind of overview, and then we're going to break into breakout sessions by camp. So BAMI, Kinder, and Kaleidoscope. And if you have a kid that's in more than one of those, we're going to run each session twice. So you can visit one, and then 15, 20 minutes later, we'll run a second round of those so you can get and meet all of your camp directors that your kids are in. So I'm Anna Shabtai. I am the director of the Children and Camping Department here at the JCC. So I oversee all of the camping programs from kindergarten and up, as well as all of our children's classes, so theater, dance, those kinds of things, as well as our after-school program. So there's a lot going on, and we're really happy to have all of you here. We're going to do some introductions, and then we're going to talk about some communication, and our aquatics director is going to talk a little bit about swimming in each of these programs. We're going to go over some carpool stuff, security, and then we're going to kind of break up into the groups. So I can have all the camp directors who are here come on up. Camp directors and assistant camp directors, that's you guys over there in the corner. Come on. Great. Yeah. Everyone's going to step kind of towards the middle. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Sammy's going to go first. Oh. Howdy.
Howdy.
Okay. Howdy.
Howdy.
Yeah. I'm Andy. I'm the director of Camp BAMI this year. So I am following in some huge footsteps for those of you that know Megan. She was in the position for a really long time, but now you have me, and right now you're stuck with me. I have been teaching for 13 years, and I am a pre-K inclusion teacher during the year and the BAMI director in the summer. So I like to say I'm not an expert on a lot of things, but I'm an expert on 3 and 4-year-olds. So that's a good thing to have this job. And I'm excited to work with Emily, who will introduce herself.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm Emily Malul. I am the BAMI assistant director, working with this fine lady. This is my second summer at BAMI, but I've been working at the JCC over at Kinder Camp and just kind of everywhere for the last 8 years. So I'm definitely very familiar with this place, and I love it, and I really don't want to leave anytime soon. So yeah, that's me.
Great. Kinder.
Oh, okay.
Hello, I'm Pia Davis, and this is my first year at the JCC and the first year as kindergarten director, and I'm excited, and I'm going to say I'm very, very excited. I love working with pre-K, 4 kindergarten children, so this is my, I guess you could say it's my niche. I worked as a substitute at Aussie International 2010, and I'm currently working on my master's in ed in educational leadership and counseling. So that's me. I have 2 children. One is at Burbank.
My name is Lyric Mandel. I'm the assistant director of Kinder Camp this summer. I'm super excited. It's my second summer back at Kinder Camp specifically. I'm currently pursuing my master's in communications, and I grew up going to the J, and my mom owned and operated a Montessori school, so working with children was something I always knew I wanted to do. So I'm thrilled to be back and continue working with all of your children and meeting all of them and cultivating relationships this summer.
Hi everybody, I'm Rabbi Jill. I am the director of Camp Kaleidoscope. This is my 3rd summer at that camp, so it's super exciting, super fun. Both of my kids have gone through Camp Kaleidoscope in Kinder and BAMI, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I work here during the year as well, doing a lot of our Jewish family engagement programs, so not only do I get to be with y'all and your kids over the summer, but we love seeing you during the year as well.
My name is Brian Binder. I will be working at Kaleidoscope with Rabbi as the assistant director. I work here year-round as the children's programming coordinator, so if you're here during the year or pretty much any time ever, you'll see me. Please say hello. I'm pretty friendly most of the time. And yeah, we're looking forward to an exciting summer.
Yeah, and I will say that the one person missing is Gil Brav, who is our shaliach. He's our year-round shaliach, so if you're here for Kites Kef, he is also the Kites Kef camp director, but he is out of town this week, but he is amazing and will love to meet you.
couple of other introductions. I'm gonna let Lee Hutchins introduce himself and then.
Hi, I'm Lee Hutchins, the aquatics director here at the J. This will be my third summer at the J. I kind of oversee anything and everything that deals with water in the pools, in terms of the hiring, the lifeguards, our swim instructors, the programming that we have, swim lesson program that we have at BAMI, Kinder Camp, and Kaleidoscope. So that's kind of anything that deals with water and aquatics, this kind of falls on me. So if you see me at any time around the pools or around the building, please feel free to stop me, ask some questions. Or if you have any comments about anything, I'm always open and listening. Right? I'm going to save, I got a bigger speech coming up in a few more minutes, so I'll save some of my stuff for that. Thanks, guys.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Rosenzweig. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen my name on emails populating your inboxes. I'm the Assistant Director of Children in Camping. I'm new to the JCC. I've been here for about 4 months, but it feels like it's been much longer than that. I'm very excited for my first summer here. Specifically this summer, I'll be supervising the specialty camps, art camp, AM care, and PM care, but I can help out with anything you have questions with, so don't hesitate to call, email, stop by the camp office, and always happy to help.
Great, thank you. One more introduction who is not here this evening, and actually sometime later this week you're going to be getting an email that kind of details this position a little bit more. But this summer we are super excited to have added an inclusion specialist to our J Camps leadership team. Her name is Asmaït. She works during the year as a school counselor at a KIPP school nearby, and she's going to be doing a lot of things. She's going to be working with our staff, our counselors, helping them really understand all of our kids and really understand ages and stages and behavior issues that arise throughout the summer. She's going to be consulting with these camp directors here when they have challenges that come up. She's going to help facilitate any inclusion with any of our kids who need special accommodations or a little bit of extra help throughout the summer. So she is a licensed clinical social worker, and she's going to be a huge asset to the leadership team, and I'm very, very excited to have her join us, and you'll get a little bit of an email introduction to her in a few days as well. So keep that in mind. Here's kind of a general overview of like who you should be calling with what issues, concerns. Kathy, who you hopefully have met or seen her name, is our amazing Children in Camping program assistant. She's been helping with any registration issues that you've had. She's been helping with changes. If you have any issues, if you need to add PM care or AM care to anything, that would be who you would contact. She's in the camp office. Her email address and her phone number are all over our website and all over the place, so definitely reach out to Kathy if you have anything like that. If your kid's sick and he's not coming to camp one day, email your camp director. We like to know if kids aren't going to be here so we can keep track of them, obviously. That's one thing. One additional thing I'll say about that is that the camp directors, and I will all say this in their sessions, is that they are out with your kids in the daytime. So they are not going to be sitting at their desks, and so email is often the best way to reach them. But any communication that is absolutely urgent, that needs to reach your camper or that needs to reach a camp director in a matter like, for example, you need to change your pickup time or you need to change your mode of transportation on the way home, please email those to Kathy so that she can make sure that your camp director gets that information before the end of the camp day or whatever that timely issue arises. Things happen at camp, so when there's something that you are concerned about or something that you have a question about, please contact your camp director, and then we'll work with you, help you figure out what's going on. The rest of it really is logistics, that kind of stuff all goes to Kathy. Questions about that piece of it? Camp directors have any? Are there? All right, great. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to Lee. He's gonna talk a little bit about what we do at the pool as far as aquatic safety, and then a little bit also about the swim lessons that all of your campers are gonna get while they're at camp.
All right, as I said, big speech later. So here we go. I'll try to keep everybody entertained first. Love the shirt. Huge Star Wars geek. I love it. All right, love Star Wars. Excited for the new one in December. All right, first, aquatic safety. We take your children's safety here at the J, whether it's during camp, in this case particularly camp, not camp, if you're after camp here on the weekends. We take your children's safety very seriously. All right, we constantly have guards up on the stands around the pools. All right, during camp, okay, during the BAMI camp and kinder camp, when you're over in our Bertha Alice pool during swim lessons, we will have 2 to 3 guards over there at all times, plus our 10 swim instructors, plus all of our camp counselors that are out in the water. Okay, so we have a very high ratio of certified adults, supervisors watching your children to your children. All right, over at Kaleidoscope, same thing, 2 to 3 guards, 10 instructors, camp counselors. So there are more eyes on your children in that pool than we can, I think than that, more than enough, okay? And if we always feel like we need to add more, we will do that. That's one of the things we always are trying to watch and see what can we do to help improve our safety. So safety is the #1 key aspect in terms of your children at this pool. So one of the things we do for safety is we do a swim test. Now what this swim test does, it allows my staff to know who are the swimmers who are strong enough to kind of go out on their own, and who are the ones that might need to stay kind of close with mom, dad, or whoever the guardian is with them at that day. And the swim test is broken up into 3 pieces. First, they got to jump in the water at least 7 feet deep, and then be able to come back up. What we see with that is if your child should fall in the water, we need to be able to see that they can get themselves back up, okay, bring their heads to the surface. So that's first step. Second step is they go right into treading or floating for 1 minute. They can do a combo, they can tread, they can float, mix it up, whatever keeps them comfortable. What we are looking for here is that they're able to keep their head above water, right, and that they're also able to maintain control, okay? Those are the 2 things we're really looking at. After that 1 minute tread float, then they have to swim 25 yards without grabbing the wall or grabbing the rope. They may roll over, get some breath, roll back over and keep swimming. Once again, what we're looking at is can they swim through the water and are they in control? Okay, if they can do all 3 of those things, then they pass our swim test. We take their information, we give them a nice bright shiny red wristband, and they're good to go anywhere they would like amongst the J pools without mom and dad tagging along, okay? Now, when we do the swim test, we do ask the kids to not do it with goggles. And we know goggles is kind of a big thing with kids in the water. The reason we ask that is when you go to the deep end where we have our big slide, our diving board, and the rock walls, the children are not allowed to wear goggles. So we want to know that when your child comes down the slide, jumps off the rock wall and diving board, that they're going to be okay in the water without goggles, so that they can make sure they can swim to the wall. So we will ask them to do the swim test without the goggles. Now, if they're really hesitant, we'll try to encourage them to do it. But if push comes to shove, we'll let them do it with the goggles. But ideally, we want them to do it without the goggles. And so just if you're bringing your child over to the pool one day to take the swim test, maybe give them a heads up on that. Hey, I think they're going to ask you to take your goggles off. Kind of be ready for that and help explain to them the reasons why. Okay, so it's not a total shock. All right, now with the swim test, where it comes in from a camp-wise is Kaleidoscope. All right, over our camp at Kaleidoscope, every camp, every Friday is fun day. All right, but the swim test doesn't play into effect for our BAMI and kinder camp because we stay in our small little baby pool area. But for Kaleidoscope, these kids are older, 1st, 2nd, 3rd graders. They want to have a little more room. They want to have a little more fun. All right, so what we do is we kind of take the lanes out of the pool, and we separate the pools where we take a lane and cross the shallow end at each end. And anybody who's passed our swim test, and we even have a modified test over at Kaleidoscope, if they passed our swim test, they have the ability to go all over the pool, no questions asked. We'll still be watching them. Our instructors will be in the water. Our lifeguards will be there too. If they haven't passed the swim test, we just ask them to stay inside the rope of the shallow end, where it's 3 feet on one end, 4 feet on the other. We know these kids are pretty good in the water because they're at our camp, but what we want to make sure is that someone who may not be the strongest swimmer gets to the middle of the pool where they can't touch, and all of a sudden they're bobbing. We don't want that to happen. So if they haven't passed the swim test and they don't have a wristband, we kind of keep them on the sides, but they're more than welcome to get out, kind of walk around to the other end if maybe some of their friends are at the other end. So they can do that. Any questions about the swim test? I would encourage, if you have a child who you want to take the swim test, I would encourage you to come by the J before camp starts. All right, those lines for swim tests get really long. Think about how many campers come out. And we'd hate to see them spending their first part of the pool time, waiting for a swim test. So especially if you're a Kaleidoscope, come on out. Anytime during the week, even though we're open for lap swimming, come on out, ask one of my guards on the weekends. When we're open for a rec swim, come out and ask one of our guards. Come in, take the swim test. Go ahead and get it done before camp starts. So I would encourage you to do that. All right. And as I said, three-pronged approach to safety: lifeguards, counselors, additional staff in and around the pool. Any questions about our safety?
You said during the week and during the weekends. You said during lap times. There's certain.
So during the week, we have right now the pool's open for lap swimming. But so if a lot of families, when the kids get out of school, if you want to bring them over during that 5 to 8 window, we have an extra guard on duty in case someone wants to come over and get a lap swim. On the weekends, we're open for rec swim. Like everybody, we try to have a slide and all the fun stuff open. So we should have a lot of guards here. Once again, we can handle the swim test on the weekends.
Okay.
All right. So during instructional swim, during camp, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, at all 3 camps, we provide instructional swim. Friday is always fun day. Okay, why is that? We want the kids to have something to look forward to each week when they come to camp at the pool. All right, so if we miss a day for rain or an unfortunate incident in the pool, we don't make it up on Friday. We keep Friday as a fun day for the kids. All right, so instructional swim, Monday through Thursday. One of the things we like to do is provide report cards, progress cards. All right, and so this is kind of a generic one. Right, if you look at this, it will have the swimmer's name, who their instructor was, what their level is, with the date we publish this report card. And then what we do is we kind of create a paragraph based on the skills and what we're seeing in the water with your child. So we can give you a heads up. Cooper has done an excellent job this session. He's completed the kicker. He is confident in deep water. He should be practicing his arms beside his head when he streamlines. We'll give you a little bit of information, things they're doing well, and things we want to see them continue to work on. And then over here, it'll list all the skills of that level. And so anytime you get a report card, anytime your child has completed that skill, we will check that off. So you can see that when you get those. Now we do report cards 3 times a session. We'll do one at the end of the first week. It's kind of like our evaluation week with your child. We'll kind of let you know where we're starting off with them. And then we do one in the middle of week 3. So hopefully you might see a couple more box checked. And then we'll do one at the end of week 4. So that we'll do it both ways for session 1 and session 2. All right. Now, with the report cards and with our levels, one of the things we do when we don't do it is pre-camp. So if anybody signed up for pre-camp 1, pre-camp 2, there are no report cards and there is no kind of instructional swim. It's a lot of free swim. It's what we've done in the past. This year we're doing something a little different with BAMI and Kinder Camp. All right. Since we are fortunate to have 2 pre-weeks sessions before camp starts, during pre-camp 2, what our instructors are going to do is work on evaluating all the children who are in those 2 camps during pre-week 2. What this will allow us to do as our staff is to go ahead and kind of start putting these kids in groups. We'll kind of get a jump on the idea of what level they're at within our programs. And we can kind of go into the first week of hopefully evaluating the majority of the kids, having them all in their places, assigned to the instructors that best meet their levels, and we can kind of hit the ground running. All right, so this is something we're going to take advantage of this year because we know last year that we spent a little too much time on week 1 doing too much evaluating, trying to move the kids around. We did not begin the progression. Am I running out of time? Okay. All right. Sorry. So, all right. Last thing is for our levels, we're also trying to streamline the camp. We only have the children for 8 weeks, so we want to get the most out of that time as we can. So we're going to streamline all of our levels. Each camp has 4 levels. So BAMI, it'll start like for the kids who have no experience or afraid of the water. So up to level 4, which will get them like 1 level away from maybe taking and passing our swim test. When you go to Kinder Camp, we'll still start with that child who's never been in the water, who's afraid of the water, up to where they should hopefully be able to take and pass our swim test. And then with Kaleidoscope, same level, afraid, never been in the water, up to where we're working on improving their technique and maybe teaching breaststroke and butterfly. So there's a little bit of overlap. So if your child was, is in Kinder Camp, BAMI, then once they move up to Kinder Camp the next year, instead of starting at level 1, they might be starting at 2 or 3, and then same thing up to Kaleidoscope. So that's a change we're doing this year, is trying to streamline our levels to make it a little bit easier to help the children progress, to get them to be water safe, hopefully pass our swim test, and then maybe even teach them how to do a little bit more in the water. All right, I'll be around for the rest of the night if you do have questions about anything that deals with aquatics. All right, thank you.
I want to make one more introduction before we move on to our closing for Lee. Joel Dinkin is our CEO here at the JCC. He he's available. I'm speaking for him now, but if you need him, he is available as well. If you haven't gotten your carpool tags already, Miss Kathy is still outside. You can get them a little bit later, but this is what they look like. Carpool tags are essential to what we do here in the afternoon at the JCC, getting your kids home safely. We're going to use them at the 3:30 carpool as well as the 5:40 to 6 o'clock p.m. care carpool. So make sure that you have those. If you are sending someone to pick up your child, ideally you'd have be able to give them the carpool tag. But if not, if they don't have a carpool tag, they do have to park their car and come in and get them, and they have to be on your authorized pickup list. So grandma's in town for one day and she wants to pick up, Johnny at carpool at camp, then she needs to come inside and show an ID, and you will have put her on your authorized pickup list, which is in Camp Minder, which is Camp in Touch. Hopefully you've all signed into there and filled out your forms, so those are there. Couple more things about carpool. This is the Weingarten building carpool. This is the building that we are in right now. So if you have a kinder camper, a third grader, if you have a Kaleidoscope camper who also has a sibling that you are dropping off here, you can use the Weingarten carpool. And this is Atwell right here, and you're gonna come in off of Atwell, and you're gonna go right, and you're gonna go through the parking lot. Drop off is right under this overhang, right out here. And then you're gonna come back out this way. The main change to this summer's carpool is that when you leave the building, when you leave the parking lot, you're only gonna be able to turn right on Atwell. You will not be able to turn left to go back to Braeswood. So we're asking that you use Ruther Glen or something to that effect to get back to Braeswood. You can either go Ruther Glen to Chimney Rock or whichever way, but this will help the flow of carpool and getting people in and out more smoothly. I'm going to pray, like you guys are going to pray, that they're done with the sidewalk construction that they're doing on Atwell and Ruther Glen right now by the time summer starts. So that's the Weingarten building carpool. Camp Bammy is going to have their own carpool morning and afternoon. They only will do carpool from 8:40 to 9:05, and then again from 3:30 to 3:50. They will not do carpool at 1 o'clock.
The plans do not currently have a 1 o'clock carpool.
They do not have a current 1 o'clock carpool, and they will not do a carpool at 6 o'clock. So if you keep your child in until 6 o'clock at Bammy, they will ask you to park your car and come in as well. But this is Braeswood up here. You're gonna enter off Braeswood, come through the parking lot, and come out Braeswood. The additional piece here is that if you need to come to the front of the parking lot, you're going to go out Braeswood and come around. We're not gonna let people come back through the tennis center, past the tennis center, back towards the front of the building. These are all gonna be on our website, which they'll be at erjcchouston.org/parentinfo. We're gonna email them out as well. They're part of our parent information series that we have up on our website. And we'll go from there. So if you can't see it, they will be electronic. Yes?
What if you have a kid in both Bammy and the Weingarten?
So there's a couple of different ways you could do it. If you would like to leave your Bammy child at this carpool, you absolutely can do that as long as you put it on your transportation form. My Bammy child will be with their sibling in Weingarten carpool. That is the choice for that. The other option is if you wanted to drop off Bammy in the back and circle around and drop your big kid off in the front, you are welcome to do that as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So starting day 1 for Bammy, we drop off.
You are welcome to park. You do not have to use carpool. You're welcome to park and walk in. For a 3 and 4-year-old, you're right. It can, the transition time can take a little bit of challenge. You know your children best, and so if you feel the need to walk in, absolutely. You will need a membership badge to get in anywhere. This is not just for Bammy, but to get in anywhere in the building. So if you don't have one of those, make sure that you get one before summer.
Same question for the older.
Anyone is welcome to park and walk in anytime. Absolutely, as long as you have a membership badge, we will let you bring your child inside.
What time does the bus leave to take kids to Kaleidoscope at Murfish if we're dropping one kid off here and one kid up there?
Great point. Yep. It will leave at 8:50. 8:50. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
mine starts at 8:40.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you would like your Kaleidoscope child to ride the bus from here to the Murfish Teen Center, definitely be on the earlier side of carpool.
Does that come with pre-care? So if you're doing before care for kaleidoscopes, do they stay here until 8:50?
They will actually go to the Murfish in the first round, so they will actually go to the Murfish about 8:30. Yeah. If you are using AM care, I don't know if everyone heard that, and your child is going to the Murfish, they will leave here about 8:30. But if they don't get on the 8:30 bus, they will get on the 8:50 bus. So there is a second option for that as well.
So you have to drop them off here first. You can't drop them off there.
You do not have to. The only reason people would drop off here is if you have a sibling that's here. So a BAMI kid or a Kaleidoscope or a third grader and up, and you wanted to only do one drop off, you could use this main.
So they have pre-care at.
They do not have
Murfish.
pre-care at the Murfish.
That's
Carpool,
right.
yeah. So carpool starts at 8:45 at the Murfish. That's.
I don't know what carpool. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What's carpool like? So if you do
If
pre-care.
you are signed up for AM care, which is the 7 o'clock
Yes.
or 8 o'clock start, all of that is here.
Okay.
So if
it's
they
not over there. It's
no.
here, and then they take them over there.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Exactly.
And then for picking up in the evening, it is back here.
Uh-huh. If your child is enrolled in PM care, which is 3:30 to 6 p.m., that is also here.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yep. And then Murfish carpool, it's same as it always has been, which is Rice into the back parking lot, pull around the front, back out onto Rice. Okay? Again, that's 8:45 to 9:05. 9. This is the website that I mentioned, erjcchouston.org/parent-info. So you'll see transportation, camper care, communication, everything we've gone over tonight will be there. Food at camp is there, aquatics, everything we talked about is also there. I will point out, and it's in the food at camp, and your camp directors are going to say it as well. The JCC is no longer providing any snacks for kinder and up, except for PM care. So 3:30 to 6, we will feed your child a snack. Please send snack with your child when you pack their lunch. This is not a change for BAMI. BAMI has never provided snack, but we are doing this because the needs, the health needs, the nutritional needs, etc. of our campers is always changing, and we can't keep up. So we want you guys to provide whatever snacks you want your kids to be eating. So just wanted to point that out as well. Just a touch about security, we've touched on it already, right? Is that you must have a membership ID badge to get in any building where there is camp. We have licensed security professionals on both campuses whenever camp is open, and really whenever the building is open. The bag tags that you guys have picked up, or if not, you'll get on the end, put on your campers' bags, their lunch boxes, anything that will be separated from them. Mainly it helps us, get their kids' stuff back to them, but it also helps us make sure that there are no unidentified bags in the building. And all of our counselors are trained, and our camp staff are trained in emergency procedures, so we have plans for fire, et cetera, et cetera. Reminders, pick up bag tags, carpool tags. You can also get your membership cards if you have not gotten those. There's one person at the front desk, but we can absolutely help with that if you need to get those tonight. And then we're gonna break out groups, but I want to do a show of hands and see how many people are here for what, so I can make sure that we have enough seats in the next section. So if you are BAMI, which is 3 and 4-year-olds, raise your hand. Okay, if you are kinder camp, which is kids going into kindergarten, okay, that's what I figured, and then Kaleidoscope. Okay, all right, so we're gonna have BAMI stay here. We're gonna have Kaleidoscope go to the senior lounge, which is room 5 right across the hall. And we're gonna have Kinder go into the Donski, which is room 4 right over that. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Yeah, that's what we want. Well, I want to know that, and I want to know. Hello. How do you feel? I'm feeling good. All done. Oh, good. So excited. Or it's here. Okay, good. They consider it a year. Okay, I think I might say great. What? July 24th. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of when I was trying to say. It's like the tennis courts and the pool and all of those. You started at that time. It's an I'm telling you. And I started to see at the same like I was just popping the team, dropping off the island. I couldn't find hard because everybody's in it. Oh, no. I think that's what I'm saying. What I think is
Hey, everyone that is here, we are going to be having 2 sessions for parents that are at multiple camps, like they said. So we're going to try to get started so that we can all kind of rotate at the same time. But obviously, BAMI is a big camp. So I can open the floor to you guys, but to give you a little bit of a rundown, I've had a couple questions over and over, so maybe I can address those and then we can go from there. We must have, like we said, the badge to come in. Bertha Alice School is open year-round for our 2 and under program. The last thing you want is to see your infant, like not in the care of a building that is making people swipe and holding the doors for just anybody and that kind of thing. Please do not be offended when you see the person in front of you is a staff member and they have closed the door so that you have to go over with your bags and your kid and swipe, because it's for safety reasons. We don't like to hold the door or hold up for stragglers. Of course, for each other, we know you're going to do that. And of course, every single day I feel bad and I say, Miss Pia, come on in, and but it can cause a lot of trouble. So we ask very nicely that you make sure you have your badges. Whoever's picking up has your badge, has their own badge, they're on your membership, all of those things. So it's very important. Yes.